everybody to a very revealing show, The Masked Singer.
I know exactly who this is. God.
What is up, everyone? I'm Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000, here with another episode of Unmasking the Masked Singer. Yes, and we are on episode 6 now, guys. Episode 6, and Group A again. We were right on our last guest of Ruthie Pointer, but we're going to go over that here in a second. And then we're going to go over quickly who we think the other 3 people are in Group A. And then we're going to jump into the Pepper, who we didn't guess on yet. Because we don't think that our guesses are really going to change on either group now. It's just about getting these wild cards correct. So let's go over who's been voted off so far. First off was Octopus with Dwight Howard. Mother Nature was next. Vivica A. Fox. Pufferfish was Tony Braxton, which was a correct guess by us. And then Dalmatian was Tyga. And then we went to Baby, Larry the Cable Guy, which is a correct guess by us. That's number 2. And then Cupcake was Ruthie Pointer. And that was a correct guess. So again, we guess on the ones that stick around longer than one episode. So if they get voted off first, or if they're a wild card, they come in and they get voted off, we don't guess on those. We only guess on the ones that have been there longer than one episode. So we've only got 3 that we've guessed on, and all 3 were correct. Again, that was Pufferfish with Tony Braxton, Baby, Larry the Cable Guy, and Cupcake, Ruthie Pointer. Now, we're hoping that some of these guys stick around a little bit longer so we can guess on these new wild cards. Let's get to who we think everybody else is right now. First off, the hamster, Rob Schneider. That's not going to change. Kind of sounds like him. And again, we have all the Razzies and all that stuff. The talking about being and working with his pals still, Saturday Night Live crew, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, David Spade, all these guys, they still work together. So a lot of that stuff lines up. And he has singing experience. Ellie King is his daughter, country music singer, so it makes sense. Now, the bull, Todrick Hall. Only thing I'm going to say is, after the RoboPine last year, being Tyrese, in the last second, us saying, because it sounds like him, we're just going to say it's him. That's why we're doing this. It's not just because he sounds like Todrick Hall, but it's because he sounds like Todrick Hall. Pretty sure that it's Todrick Hall. There's also the Wizard of Oz references and all that stuff. So trust me, that's Todrick Hall. Now, Skunk is Faith Evans. Again, seen it all. She did have a full ride. She dropped out of school. She took time off to be with her family, take care of her family. And she's had a lot of hardships. There's a lot of stuff about tragedy in that. Think about it. Faith Evans dealt with Biggie getting shot, killed, and all that stuff that was going on back then in those days. Death Row and the other labels that were out there in the rap game. So pretty darn sure, and also because it sounds like her. So let's get to the Pepper. We'll also talk about the Jester real quick because there's some interesting things about that, even though we won't guess on him or her, whoever. But Pepper could be 2 people. Now we're pretty sure it's one of these 2, and we're pretty sure we know which one it is. But we'll let you kind of guess on that. First off, we're going to go and talk about Kesha. Could be Kesha for obvious reasons. The TikTok reference, just strictly the name of the song TikTok before the app even existed. But in 2020, her song Cannibal was used for dance routines on the TikTok app. And then she went back, she re-recorded the song and actually went on to TikTok with the TikTok sensation Charlie D'Amelio, I believe it is. And she did that dance with her on there to the redone song. So there's that reference. Also, she says, or the Pepper says, that they have a bit of a crush on the bull. And if it's Todrick Hall, like we think it is, Kesha sang a heartfelt version of her song Rainbow at the Global Pride 2020, which was hosted by Tyler Paul. So that could be another kind of connection there. But there are some things, though, that make me question it being her, and it doesn't sound like her really. And then there are a few other clues that just you can't fully account for, which I know with RoboPine, we were constantly going over the clues. Well, what about the clues? What about the clues? This one, though, the clues do match up better for another person, and that person is Natasha Bedingfield. So Natasha Bedingfield, definitely more of these things lined up. Think about it first. It sounds like, and then she did have a recent TikTok viral dance sensation with her remix of the song Unwritten, the, Feel the Rain on Your Lips song. And so that's the TikTok reference. Now, the X on the tic-tac-toe board, I believe the X is in reference to her time as a judge on X Factor. And there are 3 judges, and if you get 3 X's, you're booted. So the 3 X's, I think, is reference to X Factor. Then let's go down the Keep Dreaming reference. That line could be referencing her song Dream Big, or just the general sentiment of the lyrics for the song Unwritten. And then 2 other clues. And these 2 clues kind of just point blank nail it on her, being the pepper. First off, she has a new song out, or a song off of a new album. That song is called Roller Skates. So the roller skates that are shown, or she talks about actually, could be a direct reference to that song Roller Skate off of her album Roll With Me. So that seems like a pretty dead giveaway right there. Not to mention the other dead giveaway we think that's kind of being lost in some of this is the Chillywood thing. Chillywood, about Hollywood. Her song Unwritten was used in the hit TV show, or the intro for the hit TV show The Hills, and its remix that is out is being used on the newer series The Hills New Beginnings. And of course, this all takes place and follows, I guess, famous people from the Hollywood Hills area. So I think that's a direct reference to the Chillywood thing. Chillywood, Hollywood Hills, The Hills, and the fact that her song was used in The Hills and The Hills New Beginnings, or New Beginning, whatever it is. Big fan of those things, so forgive me. I think it's a direct reference to Natasha Bedingfield, so I think that's who it is for sure. And then last but not least, let's just talk about the Jester. Jester is a wild card coming in this time. No clues. We don't know anything except for go look him up, or go look up the Jester. I don't know if it's him or her yet. But go look up the story that TMZ ran on it. I guess there's a portion of the Jester's costume that was a little too hot for TV. And I guess they had to go back and do some editing to make sure that it wasn't shown. So interesting. I mean, it wasn't anything necessarily X-rated. They just said it wasn't really good for a family-friendly show. So the pictures I saw were kind of hilarious. So go check that out on TMZ.com. Always a fun time over there, too. I always find really great stories. So anyways, with that said, guys, let me know if you think it's Kesha or Natasha Bedingfield. Think it's Natasha. If you don't think so, let me know. Tell me I'm wrong. And tell me I'm wrong on these other people. If you think it's somebody else, put it down in the comments. I love to hear what you guys have to say. It makes my day. Love reading the comments. But guys, with that said, make sure you tune in. I believe 2 weeks from next. I think next week is the World Series. So we might not be here next week because I don't think the show will be on next week. But make sure you tune in next time. And with that said, I am Chris Knight. This is The Real Review 3000, and I'm officially out of here.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell. Follow Chris Knight and The Real Review 3000 on these platforms. For email and Patreon, see the description box below. To reach The Ego, use the Twitter handle @TheEgo5150. We would like to thank the generous members of The Real Review 3000. Those members are Jesse Ritchie, JJ, aka SithLord3827, Lady Toriel, Yvette, Abraham Morales, and Anzo of Bigger Ford Entertainment. Thank you for your support and donations that help us at The Real Review 3000 bring you, the viewer, better content. For more information on how to become a member, click the join button below.